Hello everyone, it's Gregor from A19 Consulting. Today's topic is what is UAT? What are UAT test cases and scripts? Let's dive into the action. So what is user acceptance testing? UAT. Well, the purpose of UAT is to test use cases, and that is specific day-to-day operations in the life of an end user and the required tasks to perform the job function as per standard operating procedures SOPs. So that's the long description. Well, the short version is it's a validation of business requirements to accept changes for a rollout, a new implementation, upgrades, and change requests. UAT is a lot different from system testing. In fact, most implementations fail because users are system testing and they're doing it without any kind of tools or cases or scripts, and it's just confusing. So UAT differs from system testing in that system testing is performed by the ISM consultant and focuses on software functionality and technical requirements. UAT testing is performed by subject matter experts, SMEs, and focuses on job functions. That is the big difference, and I'm going to mention that again and again because it's a new concept for some, and I've seen a lot of Ivanti Service Manager implementations fail or go haywire with budgets doubling and tripling and the project going off the rails and a panic mode and morale going down and a sense of confusion because end users are trying to system test and beta test. That's not what we're doing. We're validating business requirements, and I'll talk about that more in the next slide. So UAT is always performed in the UAT tenant, and system testing is always performed by the ISM consultant in the stage tenant. What are UAT test cases? Well, test cases, also known as use cases, are those specific scenarios of day-to-day operations I mentioned in the life of an end user and the required task to perform their job function goals. UAT test cases typically closely align with your standard operating procedures. Now, if you say you don't have any, you might have unofficial ones or you have some bullet points. And I'm sure you do have standard operating procedures, and that's where the subject matter experts come in because they will tell you what they are, being your service desk analyst, being your service desk manager, being your second level support, and so on. And they know about what operating procedure steps they need to take, what they need to put into a system, right? Like a caller information, like a reference number, and what the expected results are going to be, right? If I'm scanning an asset tag, I'm expecting it to generate a CI for me or an asset or update the asset if it exists, right? So think about UAT test cases as like cooking recipes. Imagine you're a cook, you're preparing a meal, and your goal is to prepare a grilled cheese sandwich. The use case describes a series of written steps, the recipe steps, how to cook, our SME, would go about preparing a sandwich. Use cases really help you identify gaps in your business requirements and you understand where errors could occur in the process and in essence form your test plan as well. The cook in this example would be the primary subject matter expert. The system components would be a frying pan, a cooking device, bread, cheese, butter, spatula, and so on. And the use cases would be your overall operating procedures in the system to make the grilled cheese sandwich. And it's broken down into steps such as assembling a sandwich, preparing the cooking device, operating the frying pan, and so on. The last step would be eating the sandwich. That's my favorite, with tomato soup. So with ISM Heat, for example, the SME would be the service desk analyst, right? The operating procedure could be taking service desk support calls, and the steps aligned to USOP would be something like I need to be able to look up record, caller information. I need to be able to record that caller information. I need to be able to enter in symptoms. I need to be able to escalate the second level support. I need to be able to resolve calls, and so on, right? and you have multiple SMEs, right? Asset scanning, you would have an asset scanner. That could be a storage manager. It could be a second level support tech, and so on, right? So those are some examples of test cases, and test scripts are really closely related. You want to think about your work breakdown structure to test and validate your specific business requirements or components of use cases, right? That's really what they are, right? The test scripts really help you break it down into smaller components, and it makes it easier for you to test. These are like your bullet points of your SOP. For example, we talked about logging a support ticket, an incident. You could break it down into scripts for looking up caller information, classifying an incident, searching for knowledge, assigning second level support, resolving an incident. And then if we're talking about scanning hardware assets, the scripts could be to scan an asset tag or to scan a packing slip, right? And these are business requirements. So why are UAT test cases and scripts so important? I can tell you with over 24 years of experience that this is arguably the most crucial point, because it's all rainbows and lollipops and sunshine, until UAT. You need to be able to validate your business requirements. You need to be able to satisfy the scope of work. You want to be able to use consulting hours efficiently, use up resources efficiently. You need to have a clear test plan. And that's a coordinated, structured effort, because that's going to keep your end users' morale up, and people are not going to be confused because they have no idea what they're testing. It's like staring just at a blank screen and going, okay, what do I need to do? Well, I don't know what I'm testing. I'm just going to click here and there. Well, that's system testing, that's beta testing, that's stress testing. And even at that's a bad effort at it, right? And you need to be able to stay on budget and on time. And I can tell you, most implementations and rollouts fail because they don't have proper UAT testing, they don't have proper UAT test cases, they don't have scripts, and they don't have a tool to actually record those in. They're using Excel, or worse, they're using Word, right? Which is not really a collaboration tool, and it's just doesn't serve the purpose. So I've developed as well a UAT test script module for Ivanti Service Manager. I've got a video on that. I've got more videos on UAT testing versus system testing, regression testing. The end goal is that you want to have a successful rollout and implementation. And to do that, you need to be able to validate your business requirements and look at it from business requirements perspective and being able to do your daily job function. I hope you enjoyed the video, and have a great day.